welcome to Totino Grace High School for a great early season matchup in boys basketball between two of the state's best programs as the Hopkins Royals pay a visit here to take on the Eagles, three-time defending Class 3A champ. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Ryan Iverson. It's very early, but I think these are two of the teams that people are excited to see what they have. It probably won't be a mid-season type form yet, but a lot of talent on the floor.
A lot of talent, and I love both coaches. They played this game early last year, too. It was a great game. I love that they're challenging each other early in the year, and why not play the best, see where you land, see what you need to work on. Totino been, the dominant team of 3A. Hopkins has been a perennial power in 4A for 600 years. So you got great programs, great talent, good coaches. Should be a great matchup tonight, Jay.
Hopkins in particular really returns a lot from last year, and they were very close to knocking off Wayzata and getting to state. They bring a lot back. I mean, I think a lot of people view this as maybe as a return to the top for Hopkins.
Yeah, they got a good chance. They got great guard play. And when you have great guards in basketball, you can control the pace. They make great decisions. They can score. They got size. They got shooting. They got everything. So I think Hopkins, they're a year older. And you got to remember, similar to Eden Prairie in football, if you will, they haven't won in a while. And so I think they're hungry to kind of return Hopkins back to their glory. Coach Novak thinks they have a really good team. Everyone's a year older. I think they're ready to go this year.
Totino Grace, of course, graduated Isaiah Johnson, who played a tremendous state tournament, and they do have some people back, but they are also a little bit banged up, so they don't feel like they're maybe going to be necessarily ready for the prime time just yet, but they're going to find out tonight.
Yeah, and if anything else, you maybe get a little bit more depth, right? You get some players getting more minutes than they normally would, which in the end of the day is going to help Totino Grace in the long run, but they still are loaded with talent. They got great length, great athletes, so they're going to compete. And the one thing, Nick Carroll, his teams, they compete like crazy. So no matter who's playing tonight, who's not, if they're not in tip-top shape yet, it's going to be a dogfight, and it's going to be high scoring too.
Saw key players to look at in tonight's game, and obviously we have a lot of good ones on both sides, but Anthony Smith for Hopkins coming off a really good year.
He works out in the summer with where my son works out, so I get to watch him, and obviously we broadcasted him now for a couple of years. I don't know if anyone's quicker or more skilled than Anthony Smith. He's so quick, he can jump, he can shoot, he creates. I think just decision making, taking better shots, and being that guy that you can count on consistently night in and night out. If he can add that little part, he may be Mr. Basketball this year. That's how talented he is, Jay.
And for Totino Grace, a guy that was kind of a complimentary part, but then he played himself into being more than that. Chase Watley is a really good one.
He really is, and he's just under 13 points a game last year. I think you're going to see that up into the high teens, low 20s this year. He's 6'2", but he's fearless. He's quick. He's tough. He can shoot. He can get to the rim. Plays really good defense too. And so they got holes to fill from last year. But when you're the three-time defending championship, there's an aura about your team and an attitude. And someone's going to fill that role and step up. So he's got to have a huge year for him if they're going to be a four-time defending state champion.
All right, both teams facing some good teams early. They'll get an opening night test here this evening. Hopkins and Totino Grace Boys Hoops is up next on CCX.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married, an interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
Welcome back. A lot of interested basketball fans around as the Eagles and Royals getting set to do battle here at Totino Grace. They played last year, of course, over at Hopkins, as Ryan noted, with Grace pulling out a close victory in that one.
Yeah, that was a fun one, too. High scoring, really fun early game. You'll see a lot of the top teams every year, Jay, they're scheduling each other. These guys, they're playing the best teams all the time here early on. I love that they're willing and able to do that.
Yeah, as dominant as Grace ended up being, in the 3A tournament and everything, they did have 5 losses last year, and that's just because they played, a lot of 4A teams and a really tough schedule.
And you know what? If you lose 3 or 4 early on, it doesn't matter. If anything, it just gets you more prepared for those state tournament, those conference, high intensity, high level games. So I love to see it.
Jaden Moore, Anthony Smith, Davey Hart, J.J. Semenko, and Julius Ellis starting for Hopkins. Jalen Hines, Malachi Hill, Vince Jacob, Chase Wantley, Will Ferris. And Eagles without Tian Chapman tonight. He's out injured. And also Dothan and Jatambola will play some, but is not starting because he's been injured as well. Vince Jacob firing it up from the corner. Bounced twice, wouldn't go, but... right there for the putback, guess who? Chase Watley.
Yeah, you see his jumping ability. Great athleticism going up and getting that. There's another quick turnover here. Totino in transition.
Hill had that one jabbed away from behind by Davey Hart.
Yeah, Chase went all the way up there. You got to put a body on both of these teams. They're both going to be good offensive rebounds. You got good athletes that are going to attack the glass. You got to box out. What it does leave you open for there, Jay, is if you can get that defensive rebound, you have opportunities in transition because they crash the board so hard.
Watley, a step-back jumper, and it's money. A couple quick hoops for him.
Yeah, really nice. Just quick, created space, a little step-back fadeaway there. It's all he needed was just a sliver to get that shot off.
Semenko dropping it off, and a floater wouldn't go there for Hart. Jacob will bring it back out to Watley. Early 4-0 lead for Grace on a couple of Chase Watley buckets. Not a lot of size, especially for Grace. They're a much smaller team than they were at times last year.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to be able to shoot it a little bit better, too, from the outside this year. They have such good athletes as far as getting to the rim. Spacing and being able to keep the defense honest and knock down threes. A little bit of a question mark going into the year here.
Drive and dish, and through Watley. It was kind of thrown a little hard there by Hill as he zipped it through traffic.
Oh, it was the right idea. He got into the teeth there. He saw the play there, but you got to deliver that with a little bit softer touch so it's a catch and score instead of turnover.
Smith. Good first step, lost it on the way up. He thought he was fouled. The officials say no. And the floater will bounce and drop for Hill.
Yeah, Malachi Hill, only a sophomore, but you can see how talented he is. And I love they're getting it and just going right in transition. Hopkins very good at half court defensively. If you can get to them before they get set up, you can get some easy baskets.
Back around for Jaden Moore, and he hits a 3. Hopkins on the board.
Yeah, and that's an area of his game. Obviously, we've been covering him for a long time. He's really turned into a much better shooter. You give him a good look like that. When he was a freshman, maybe even as a sophomore, would hesitate a little bit, but he's confident enough to knock that down now.
Hill missing the pull-up there, but Ferris the rebound. Jacob isolated out on the right side, drives and dishes. Won't drop it. There's Ferris again on the offensive glass. Watley, the jump stop, and he finishes through contact.
Like a pogo stick. Great balance, great footwork there. Didn't rush it. He could say if he kept his momentum going there, that might have been a charge. He was able to stop, hop, step, gather, and nice touch at the finish. Good start for Totino.
Ellis handing it off, but that one is wide left.
Yeah, maybe a little forced on that shot. He wasn't wide open.
Won't fall there from the corner for Hines, and the Royals looking to run it back here with Jaden Moore.
Oh, nice look.
Way over to the corner for Hart, and that is good for 3 more.
Yeah, Davey Hart, if he can have that he averaged 12 a game last year, if he can take that next step, be that knockdown shooter like that, especially Jaden Moore is so good at penetrating, but unselfish too. Find the open guy. You got to be ready to shoot, and he was.
So a couple of threes for the Royals, and they're to within 8-6. Hill, a lot of dribbling on this possession.
Oh, nice footwork there. Beautiful.
Turns, stops and hits. I didn't think that possession looked like it was going anywhere, but he made it happen.
It's one of those where you want to get something set, but he made a great drive, and then again, great patience, being able to stop like that, let the defender go by, and just a little 6-7 foot mid-range shot. Really, really nice.
Well, you realize on a play like that how much footwork matters in basketball.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Semenko 0 for 2. I mean, huge year last year, very capable of knocking those shots down. I think he's best, Jay, when he's attacking the basket. And then as an extension of that, knocking down jump shots. He's 2 quick threes here, definitely contested.
Dothan and Jadabola coming in for Totino Grace, along with the talented freshman Daniel Zoa.
Yeah, 6'5", 9th grader. Gosh, I'd love to see that. Perfect body.
And Ahmed Noor, 6'9", sophomore for Hopkins in there. Jacob on the nice cut and gets the hoop.
Well, you said it, nice cut. He bailed Hill out that time. Hill left his feet, but that's a great little dive there by Jacob.
Ooh, there's a blow by. Jaden Moore gets all the way to the rack, and he has 5 points. It's 12-8 Eagles.
Yeah, so quick, explosive first step. You got to be there to help. But as he showed, if you help, he'll find the open man, too. It's kind of pick your poison.
Jadabola and called for the travel. Had it knocked away. He's a little bit rusty. I think that's fair to say. Just kind of getting back into practice mode.
Yeah, and I thought that time Dolphin looked like he shuffled his feet right away when he caught it. Yeah, just getting into that game speed, right? Speed, very different than practice. Dolphin, very, very good basketball player.
Shea Jackson in. Now Semenko looking to attack, but pretty good D by Watley. Noor fires from the corner and buries another. Hopkins lighting it up from beyond the arc.
Yeah, 6'10" sophomore, touch like that, beautiful shot. If they got guys spreading the floor like that, knocking down threes.
Watley dishing over, score the hoop as Zoa finished it strong and is fouled.
Yeah, driving kick. Again, not an easy shot, too. That was contested, but having that length. And Watley, a great drive, really unselfish play. And again, I love Totino. You're seeing their guys are not standing stationary. They're attacking the basket. They're cutting. They're getting themselves available to catch those passes for a freshman like that, especially when you got that 6'5" frame. Nice pass.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No look there. Layup good. Jaden Moore to Davey Hart.
Yeah, you can't let guys get behind you like that. Jaden Moore is going to find them.
Back to Watley. Had it knocked away, but it resulted in a pretty open look, but Noor grabs the rebound. Here comes Smith. Drive and dish. It's going to be an offensive foul on Smith.
It was the right idea, Jay. He was a little late in delivering that. He could have given that up to Semenko about a half second earlier for the layup. Instead, I know it's elementary, but you got to come to that jump stop. Watch his momentum. There's the no look. Beautiful pass. It's like a receiver getting behind the safety. He had him a step earlier, or you got to come to that jump stop so that momentum doesn't carry you.
And knock loose. Steal for Hart. He goes all the way and soars in for 2 more.
Yeah, he's off to a great start. 7 quick points. Good transition there. You see how long he is. He's a great finisher at the rim.
Royals trailed early, but they battled back to tie it. We're going to get a reach-in foul there, or a body foul on Trey Moore. Coach Novak pleading his case. He's been known to do that a time or two. I don't know if you noticed that.
36 years. I was 9 when Coach Novak took over at Hopkins. Yeah,
Well, I'm going to date myself. He started at Hopkins 1 year after I started doing this.
So, you guys have grown up together.
I guess so. Although he was at Plain before that. Jadabola fade away in the lane, won't go. Tip try, a couple of tip tries for Zoa, but Royals come out of there with it. Ooh, might have been a travel there. Semenko from the corner won't go. Jadabola pushing it back the other way. Jackson giving it up. Ooh, and Jadabola got fouled there as
right
Noor.
Across the face of the eye there,
As we look at Nick Carroll, 3 straight state titles in a row the last 3 years in 3A. And a heck of a job here at Grace.
Yeah, his teams play hard, too. He's got a lot of talent here, but his kids have always played really, really hard. You don't win 3 state championships by accident.
Yeah, you think about how good his resume is, and then you look on the other side, Kenny Novak's won 8 state titles. Eagles trying to get the lead back here. Jadambola, little pull-up is good.
Yeah, nice body control there. Got it, went up quick, was able to attack before help was able to come over.
Well, they forgot about Hart, and he drives the rim and dunks that one.
Yeah, 9 points. He's got 2 easy baskets, just getting behind the defense. Hopkins finding them, and he's been able to finish.
Jumper wouldn't go. Nice rebound. Oh, the putback try, though, wouldn't go for Zoa. Now the Royals come back with it as Jaden Moore. Little pull-up, drops in.
Again, great footwork there. He's so explosive, and then he kind of slows it down with the Euro step. That timing throws the defender off. He's able to get a nice, easy look there from about 4 feet and gets the bounce.
Pull-up jumper in and out there for Hill. And the Royals running it again, and another flush for Hart. And timeout by Grace. It was funny that first several possessions, I was thinking in my head about how Grace had done a good job getting back, but I don't think I can say that in the last few.
Yeah, that's the 3rd time they've gotten an easy one for Davey Hart. Second dunk, there's a look at that first one there. And again, I think part of that, here's the next one, part of that too is they crash the board so relentlessly on offense that if Hopkins able to get a tip or a run out like that, they can get numbers, get easy looks in transition. No doubt Nick Carroll's talking to him right now about getting back. Oh, that ball almost intercepted there, but Davey Hart's got his jersey. He's got 11 quick points here early.
That's the kind that if you go for that steal, you better get it. Because you left them an easy
It's that safety, right? If you're going to try to pick that slant off, you better make sure you get it. Otherwise, there is nothing behind you.
And obviously that comes earlier in the play to make sure you realize, that somebody's got to be back. They have that little floor balance, whether it's off a missed shot or even a turnover. You have to know that you can't let them behind you.
Yeah, and I think, too, if you're Hopkins, Semenko 0 for 3. Anthony Smith hasn't scored yet, so you're doing all this with some other, role players stepping up. Obviously, Davey Hart with 11. Jaden Moore's had a nice start here, so they got a lot of weapons, Hopkins does. And you need that because your stars aren't going to have great games every game. If you can offset a little of that with other guys and good depth, it goes a long way.
Jacob will inbound in the backcourt here for Totino Grace. So the Eagles had a good start, but it's been quite a bit of Hopkins of late here as the Royals lead it by 4. As Ryan noted, Hart and Jaden Moore doing most of the scoring so far. And then they got 3 for Newer, and there's a steal by Smith. He'll go all the way. Layup is good, plus a foul. Probably would have been a good idea to just let that one go. And instead, they'll give him a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, one of those. You either got to commit to the foul and make sure he can't get the shot off, or just let him go. Uncharacteristic turnover there by Wadley right to Anthony Smith. And I'll tell you, give a scorer like that an easy one and a free throw out of it, give him a chance to get his rhythm.
Does not make the free throw. Watley trying to challenge that one. I think he realized late, I'm not going to be able to block this, but he got into the body of him. So 6-point Hopkins lead. Watley being defended hard here. Steps to the right and fires, but no good. Trey Moore coming back for the Royals to Smith, cutting, foul again by Watley.
Oh, that's big because that's going to be his second. And you can see Watley, definitely their best creator on offense, being able to create his own shot or shots for others. So interesting to see if Coach Carroll leaves him in here with 2 early fouls. Nice cut, too, by Anthony Smith. That's what scorers have to do. You can't hang around the perimeter and just expect to get open shots. You got to move, cut, great backdoor, and a great find.
Well, it changed the complexion in a hurry with Watley. I mean, he had 0 fouls, 30 seconds ago, and now quickly has 2.
And probably 2 that he wishes he had back because they didn't need to foul.
Tyson Moore defending Watley as he gets into the front court. Cross to Ajadambola, whips it back for Jacob for a corner three, but too long. Another offensive board, though, for nice. Grace, and the putback is up and in by Hines.
Yeah, only a sophomore. A nice offensive rebound and finish there.
Smith is fouled as he goes up inside. Hines thought he had a clean block. Referee said, no, sir.
No, and I always say, attack the rim, Jay. Put the onus on the referees to make that call, because they will call it. If you attack hard, be surprised how many times you get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, really, I mean, for a lot of times, the benefit of the doubt usually goes to the offensive player, because it seems worse if you miss an obvious foul than if maybe you call one that was sort of
ticky-tacky.
Yeah, borderline. Or
well, you almost got the feeling that first Watley foul on that fast break that the referee was preordained to blow that, you know what I mean? So you're absolutely right.
Smith makes a pair. Hopkins is really taking command now, leading at 26-19.
Well, after a slow start, he's got 5 quick points, too. He's a rhythm guy. You get him easy baskets, he can score bunches in a hurry.
Hill drives and kicks, but Watley defended well. Watley looking to back him down, but then the help arrived. It's a travel. What was coming relatively easy for Grace early on is not anymore.
No, I think the defense has picked up for Hopkins, and I think Totino Grace, Jay, has just looked a little out of sorts, right? No rhythm, not a lot of movement. We've seen a lot of dribbling, and that time you get stuck, especially Hopkins with that good pressure defense.
Smith bringing it up against Jacob here. Royals by 7. A little under 9 to go here in the first half. And that one too strong from Trey Moore, but they'll get another crack. Smith lets it rip, and he hits a 3.
And you see the confidence and the rhythm he's playing with. You got him that steal and transition layup. Ever since then, he's gotten to the free throw line. There he hits a 3. Not a good sign for Totino if you can get Anthony Smith going.
You saw his family excited about that one in the crowd. They got some good garb with his likeness on. There's Jacob, a miss. Semenko throwing it ahead to Neuer, and a reverse dunk. All Hopkins right now. They lead by a dozen.
And again, missed 3, long rebound, no transition defense. Hopkins able to get that easy leak out. That's really what sparked them, I think, Jay, starting this game.
Watley dribbling into traffic. It's on the floor. We'll get a tie-up. Possession arrow favors Hopkins, as does the momentum of this game, that's for sure. Here's Semenko. Good job to throw that one ahead, and Neuer finishing in style.
Yeah, 6'9", long. Look at that, no hesitation at all, going right into the reverse dunk.
I used to do that on the Nerf hoop in my room, but that's probably a little different. Semenko down to the baseline. They rotate it nicely here around to Moore. Now Smith again with the drive. No good, but he was fouled.
Yeah, you see that quick first step, right? The little double jab and go. He's so quick at getting to the basket. And that time, good body control to avoid getting a charge.
Ferris picking up the blocking foul. Smith continues to roll now after a little bit of a quiet start.
Yeah, he had 0, went out, sat for a minute, and then he's had all 9 of these points just in the last couple of minutes.
Goes 1 for 2 at the line this time. Hill bringing it up. Grace trying to find some rhythm offensively after a pretty good start. Good help by Semenko, so Hill couldn't get that shot up.
Great team defense there. They closed it down, helped, and then closed out on the shooters.
Ajadambola the miss. Semenko up for the board. Here they come again. Smith. Ferris rebounding the miss by Jaden Moore. Hill into the front court here as we go under 7 to play in the first half. Hopkins has really taken over, leading by 13.
And there's another steal. Hart all the way. Oh, this time missed the dunk.
He took off, I think, just a little further than he thought. Oh, travel.
Jacob will be called for the
See
travel.
the pace, too. It's starting to force Totino Grace to play a little faster. But that Hopkins defense, that was great. They helped on the drive. And then look at the explosion, getting out to shooters, playing the passing lanes. And really probably the first thing Davey Hart has done wrong in tonight's game. He's been great with 11 early points. Just, I think, jumped a little further away than he thought he was.
Yeah, the interesting thing is he did actually get far enough that he could have dunked it, but you're right. You could tell he was like, I'm not as close as I thought I was when I
that's
left
where
the floor.
you got to realize that in the air and just get the 2 points, get the layup. Nice pass.
Pick and roll, got away from Semenko though, and Hines up with the steal for Grace. Hill around the pick. Watley drops it baseline to Jadambola. Nice step through, and he scores.
Good patience that time. It looked like he wanted to kick it out, realized that he had the step and the angle, and slowed it down a little bit, got the good angle. Nice kiss off the backboard for Dolphin.
Baseline drive, that's a foul on Hill. Tyson Moore putting it on the deck there, and not really a good foul. He wasn't going to go anywhere with that.
There's nowhere to go. Yep. We used to always teach that. You take him to the baseline and put your foot on the baseline. There's nowhere for him to go. There's no need for the push there.
And it was too obvious to ignore for the official, too. Underneath. Boy, nice baseline inbound play, and easy 2 for Tyson Moore.
Yeah, those are the things that, you see Totino Grace later in the year, Jay. They're not going to be giving up uncontested layups on underneath out of bounds, right? So just little timing, teamwork things seem a little bit off right now for the Eagles.
Watley to the baseline.
Nice pass.
Drops it off, and the floater is good by Hines.
That's been their best offense when Watley or Hill able to get dribble penetration, get that aggressive defense of Hopkins to collapse and find a shooter or a cutter.
Long 3 wouldn't go for Jaden Moore. They'll get another crack at it. Semenko had a block by Jadambola, and again.
Wow.
What the hell, Rand?
Oh, and then a nice steal, though, by Jaden Moore. Slipped out of the hands of Trey Moore.
Good defense by Dolphin there. Contesting those shots without fouling.
MJ wants his hair back.
And you can tell, too, Hopkins really playing the passing lanes. If I'm Totino, I got to really take care of the ball. There's another one, yeah.
There's a quick steal
As
by
I'm telling
Trey Moore.
them, making that point, right? They are reading those passing lanes, being very nonchalant with the pass. And it's led to a bunch of easy baskets for Hopkins.
That's going to be a travel. Davey Hart got in good defensive position there, and as Jackson caught that ball, he realized he was about to bump into someone.
Well, defensively, they seem to be everywhere. It's like, it feels like there might be 7 guys on the court defensively for Hopkins. They're covering ground, and they are just attacking the heck out of the ball handler and the passing lane.
35.
And what I like, too, is they're going for steals, but they're still playing sound defensively around it, too. They're not just taking wild gambles.
And they're giving up. No, you can see they're flying around defensively. I think that's been the biggest change from the first couple of minutes is their speed on defense, ability to help and then also recover, and then they play those passing lanes so well. And they're good enough, too, offensively, where if you give them 6 to 10 easy breakaway dunks or layups, too, on top of how good they are in the half court, that's when their offense, they're going to be potent this year, Jay.
Yeah, and I think, yes, they've made some threes, but I think they're capable of even, there have been a few misses that probably they might usually make even, too. So that's a scary thought for Royals' opponents.
Yeah, and I think you could tell they fed off of the transition and the dunks, right? You could start to see the energy, the team energy. Everyone feeding off of that.
JJ's your daddy's hero.
Inbound to Jaden Moore here as Hopkins trying to build on a 13-point lead. Hard across to Semenko. He drives it. And
shot
clock violation, yeah.
It's funny, see, you tend to forget about it. You know, it's still, and it's, you know, what are we in our 3rd year now of having it?
Hey, fuck that triple boy.
But you just, sometimes you get away from it. You don't realize. That's where you have to have awareness, too.
I have to admit, Semenko joined me in not being aware. I didn't realize it was quite that low. And there's a steal by Smith, and the throw ahead, and Moore is able to run it down. Trey Moore goes to the baseline and finishes strong. Nice move. He made him think that he was going to back it out and start over, and instead, nice little rotation to the baseline.
Yeah, nice change of speed there too, right? Slow to fast, but again, all made because of great defense and getting out in the passing lane.
Watley trying to finish, couldn't. Here they come again. Woo, Smith a spin, stops, pops in and out. Adambola out on the wing. Pull up jumper there, won't go. And Hart grabs a long rebound.
The other thing too, Jay, is you're seeing it's one shot and done now for Totino. They had a couple of nice offensive rebounds early on. Right now, if they can even get a shot off, it's either a turnover or a jump shot. And nice job, Hopkins, defensive rebound, and limit them to one shot.
Zoa will pick up the foul as Smith will head to the free throw line here for Hopkins.
Yeah, and I like what Smith has done here tonight, too. He's getting to the basket. This is, what, his 5th and 6th free throws tonight. So doing a nice job of getting to the line and organically kind of creating his own rhythm by seeing these free throws go in.
And in and out on the second try there.
13, touch your drag.
But a 16-point lead for Hopkins, almost stolen, and his pass blocked.
Yo, Zero, you look.
And we might get a foul there on Semenko, it looks like.
Foul on Hopkins, number 12, JJ Semenko.
Hey, you tell him, Luis. Scoreboard. Hey, Hopper's world.
Jackson's pass deflected by Semenko.
One of the things you got to do to kind of break that pressure in those passing lanes is hit them with the back door or keep moving. Back door a couple times, you can kind of get them to soften up that pressure. Right now, you can see Hopkins, every time that ball's in the air, they're going for the steal, trying to get transition baskets.
Watley down the baseline, hangs in the air and scores.
Great body control. That was a tough angle. He was able to kind of slither his way in the air and get a good angle and get the finish. They needed that.
2.5 to play here in the first half. Hart down to the baseline to Semenko. Found a cutter and then back out. Semenko shooting it up, but no.
Yeah, he's been the only one tonight not to get it going here offensively. He's still got 0.
Damn, bro.
Watley spinning and got all the way in there, but couldn't finish it.
Yeah, just nothing easy right now for Totino.
Smith with the Euro step and finish. Yeah, I was going to say, even if Watley had made that last one, they made him work hard. I mean, you're generally
really
not going to beat teams
easy.
by doing just that.
Yo, sit your ass down.
A foul call here going against Jaden Moore. Be his second.
Settle down, go.
And that's probably the one downfall is if you're really aggressive defensively that you could get some fouls, right? And now you're going to be in the bonus here the rest of the way. I think Totino should be at the line here, shoot one-on-one.
Yeah, you're right, but it is, only a little over a minute and a half to go. And yeah, I agree. I mean, you have to, if you're going to pressure a lot, you're going to have to know that there's going to be a foul here and there. You just don't want, silly fouls.
Tangle day.
We're down 16 here, last minute and 40. Let's see if Totino can go on a little bit of a run, Jay. Maybe try to get this down to 12, 10 to 12. Got to make those free throws.
Smith handing it over. And let's see, well, we have a tie-up, yes.
Yeah.
Shea Jackson getting in there and getting his hands on that one. It should be Grace ball.
Good D there, too. Good momentum. You see the energy on the Totino side. Sometimes a good defensive stand, getting a stop. Let's see if they can convert here, maybe get a couple of buckets and get the momentum back as they go into halftime.
Well, the Grace student section over there, they were fired up about that
Yeah.
D, or they're just trying to help their team get going a little bit.
Yeah. They started with great energy, and then it just dropped off immediately, and it's been all Hopkins since.
Got Mbola with it at the high post here. He'll just turn and fire, no good. And Jacob rips the rebound away. Watley with a three.
Yeah, that's huge. Defensive stop. Hit a three. Watley, they need Watley. That puts him in double figures now with 11.
And Jacob, one of the smallest guys on the floor, went up there and snatched that rebound away to set up that hoop.
Yep.
Semenko will keep shooting, and it's in and out. There's Jacob, another rebound. Watley getting to the edge of the lane and kisses it off the glass and good. Watley has been good as advertised here, but his team's still down 11.
Oh my gosh, my quarterback!
Hopkins and a hold for one, it looks like here. Smith looks up at the clock. Under 7. Smith, the pull-up, and in and out. He's got Mbola the rebound. He's going to take a three-quarter court heave. That one will be off. And we reach halftime of this one as Totino Grace had a good start, but it was mostly Hopkins after that. Our halftime score, Royals leading the Eagles by a score of 41-30. Ryan's going to be speaking with the coaches at halftime here, as well as Nick Carroll will be up first, as the first half not going the way they would have hoped, but obviously very early in the season, and going to have some things to iron out on opening night, I think, no matter what kind of team you have. Let's go over now to Ryan.
Hey, Coach, what did you think there in the first half?
I think you saw a bunch of guys playing their first varsity minutes, and it's like it was last year. You can tell it's the first game of the year.
You got off to that great start. I thought Hopkins defensively, they started getting some steals, easy baskets. Transition, is that something you're talking to your team about at halftime?
Early and often, yeah. I mean, they do such a good job getting out and running the floor, and honestly, they don't leak out that much. They just sprint the floor really hard. We got to be more mindful when we're not in offensive rebounding advantage situations to just sprint back. I think if we clean that up, we can maybe keep it a game.
Defensively, anything else you want to see?
Just contain the dribble. I mean, obviously Smith and Moore, like both those guys are really tough to contain. We just want to make them make plays in front of us. Otherwise, just rebound the first shot and get out and run.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Jay.
Thanks, Ryan, and thanks to Coach Carroll. It is 41-30. Hopkins leading Grace at halftime. More basketball coming up on CCX.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
Welcome back here to Totino Grace. Hopkins leading it by 11 at halftime here as we check out some highlights from the opening half of play here. It was Grace actually getting off to a pretty good start, but that kind of feels like a long time ago now as Watley had a solid start to this one. A little 1-foot step back there, one of his early hoops. Good rotation here, though, around the horn. Jaden Moore confidently knocks down a three for the Royals right there. And then Moore, a nice dish to the corner. Hart is ready, locked and loaded, and buries a three. He had a good first half, certainly for Hopkins. There's a great dish, and Hart with the reverse layup. And then watch him push the ball up court here. Moore just quickly throwing it ahead, and there's Hart flushing that one home. And then Watley turning it over right here and commits a foul as Smith, driving and attacking, finishes it for Hopkins as he really came on strong later in the half. And not a bad reverse dunk there for the sophomore Ahmed Noor. Ijadambola, again, coming off injury, is a little rusty still. Had a couple buckets in that first half. Mostly Watley doing the damage for the Eagles as he hits that hanging jumper there. Smith, a strong finish there. As he really got it going later in the half especially. See Smith with a dozen and 11 for Hart up top to lead the way for Hopkins. And you had Watley with 13, but then they dropped off to 3 players had 4. And the Royals will take an 11-point lead into our second half. It was actually Grace that's out and ready to go. They want to get back after it here a little bit. Hopkins still has not come back out of the locker room, and obviously things are a little different too when you're on the road. You're not as used to where you're going to your locker and all that, so it's not too surprising, I guess, to see the visiting team that's trying to make their way back. We'll take a quick timeout and come back with our second half of basketball here. Hopkins leading Totino Grace 41-30.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
And welcome back here to Totino Grace. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to hear from Coach Novak. They were so late coming back out of the locker room, but what would he have said, Ryan? What did you feel for Hopkins?
He would have downplayed how well. They're like, we're not doing great. But I don't think you could have had a better half on the road, opening up against a really good team, a good environment here. They had that slow start, but man, they just took off. Once their defense started creating easy baskets, that's when they really took off. And I thought the end too, Totino cutting it down to 11 was a big deal though, because now it seems like it's manageable.
Kind of felt to me like Hopkins looked like the more experienced team too, didn't it? I mean, pretty much all these guys, well, not all of them, but most have played extensive varsity minutes, where you couldn't really say the same for Grace. And there's Smith knocking one down.
That's big. That's a good start. That's what you want to do. You want to kind of squash that run if you're Hopkins right now. Try to get it back to 20 if you can.
Try to throw a double at Watley. He gets it to Jacob down in the corner, but that's no good. Tipped loose.
That's the thing, because they're so good at getting to the basket, but they got to have shooters that can knock those shots down.
Short from Jaden Moore.
You see Watley so good with the ball, so quick.
And they turn it over. Here comes Smith for the dunk.
5 quick points for Anthony. Turnover leads to a transition, easy basket. It's been the story of the game. Another turnover here.
Hill had to save that one in, and they turn it over again. Here's Hart missing that one.
Call it timeout, coach. Call it. Hey, Bob, you suck. Hey, Bob, out quick.
Watley's going to pop that one, no good.
Damn,
and Moore
nice
whipping it ahead to Noor, but Hill jumped in front and stole it. Hill driving, missed, but he was fouled.
Hell no. Hey, that boy a bitch, not gonna lie.
That's the thing, when Totino doesn't turn it over, they've gotten decent stuff. Here was that transition, again, off of a steal. Anthony Smith, we've seen him knock down some threes. Some free throws, that time showing off the athleticism, banging it.
Malachi Hill missing on the free throw. Another big disparity is they only got to the line twice in that first half.
Well, I don't know what just shot attempts. I feel like Hopkins probably has 35 more shot attempts than Totino does.
Hill makes the second one. So 46-31 lead here for the Royals. Smith dishing into traffic for Hard. He'll be called for the travel.
Good defense. They attacked the ball. They took the cut away.
Pull-up jumper here won't go. Semenko the rebound.
This is where they're so dangerous, Jay. Off of a miss like this in transition before you can get set up. Good D.
Watley read that one. He'll go all the way and missed it. And gets it back though and scores.
Yeah, he followed it up, stayed with it, got the easy one. He's got 15 points. He's really been the one guy offensively for them tonight.
Smith, heat check there, but didn't get it to go.
It's one of those, as a coach, you hate that quick shot, but when you've been making them and doing well, you almost got to let your guys take that kind of a shot. I see they're talking to Anthony Smith right now about it, but he's just one of those guys who can score in bunches, and you got to live with some of those kind of shots because he can make them.
Foul went against Semenko, his second. By the way, Jaden Moore, that foul he picked up was his third a little bit ago, too. I'm going to have to give a knock on Totino Grace. You got to be putting the fouls up on the scoreboard. They don't do that here.
Nice move there, just didn't quite finish it.
Drive and dish. Noor pulls up, no good, and Ejadabola the rebound. Watley.
Oh,
Noor stayed with him and used that long reach to deny that one.
it was a great move just to get there and get that shot. I thought he was going to sneak that finish there, but nice job contesting that.
Yeah, I agree. This was a good move. I thought it was going to be a
Like
hoop.
that little in and out there, a little one-hander, but just the length of Noor able to contest. Oh, good spin.
Ejadabola had it denied by Noor, and then Semenko knocked it out of bounds. Couple blocks in a row for the sophomore.
Nice move, good spin. Dolphin, that time you got to use that big body and create the space so you can get the finish against that length. You know, Ahmad Noor is 6'9" and long. You see his body. That's where you got to create the space, using the shoulder, using your butt there. Oh, got him. Nice cut. Good patience by Watley that time. Almost 5 seconds. He was about to throw it deep, but a great cut by Hill, able to get an easy one.
More to Moore, but short with that one, and then knocked away off of Hopkins, I think, as Watley was about to squeeze that rebound. Watley will kick it to the corner.
Ooh. Nice cut, nice pass.
And Ejadabola drops it in.
Nice patience, too, that time by Hines, and Dolphin with a nice cut there to bail him out, get an easy one.
And Eagles are within 9. I mean, in some ways it kind of doesn't seem like it, but Hard with a tough finish. He'll score that one, his first basket in the second half.
That was tough. He was contested. He had a kind of a bad angle there, but somehow got it up on the glass, able to fall.
Hines picking up the foul.
Yeah, he had to earn that one. Also had to bring the ball, change the angle too. That was a nice finish.
Perfect on the free throw. 14 now for Davey Hart. And the lead is a dozen for the Royals.
You know, those are the turnovers that you just will drive you nuts as a coach, right? Because You just basically hand the ball to him. And like Coach Carroll, he said, he's like, hey, I asked him what he thought. He's like, hey, we look like a bunch of guys playing their first varsity experience. And that's part of the growth process, right? And that's why this is okay. Obviously, you want to win every game. You want to compete. But you got to learn about your team. You learn about your weaknesses. You're getting new guys experience. This will not be the same Totino Grace team that you'll see come February, March.
Trey Moore knocks down a pair. He has 6 points now, and the Royals lead it by 14. Watley pull up for three, and it's good.
He made that, and that's a great move, but that's tough offense, right? You have to create like that and then hit a tough shot, but he's capable of doing it. He's got 18. He's been really the only bright spot offensively for Totino.
Semenko finally gets one to drop. The pull-up jumper spins in for his first basket.
Well, I think what's scary, Jay, that's his first basket. Imagine if all the Hopkins players get it going at the same time. Oh, nice.
Hill knocking down the jumper. There's a sophomore who is not scared out here, that's for sure.
No.
Jacob goes down, and that allows an open look for Jaden Moore.
You're getting that shot. You see the confidence, his willingness to take that. If he can consistently knock that down, he becomes really, really hard to guard.
Hill, the drive, and it rolls in.
And Totino getting a couple easier baskets so far. It's been a big reason why Malachi Hill, he's going to be a really, really, really nice player as he gets more and more experience.
Jaden Moore, the dish. Neuer didn't waste any time, got that one up on the glass quickly.
I love that. He didn't bring it down. He didn't try to take a dribble. He just took the easy basket. Great pass by Moore as well.
Out of bounds off Semenko there.
And sit down, 5.
Inbounded to Watley here. Semenko on him right now. That's an interesting matchup.
It is. I think they want to get that length on him.
And pays off with a block.
Watley obviously a little bit quicker than Semenko, but I think with that length he can recover, contest jump shots, and that time you saw able to use that length to be able to swat that without fouling too.
Smith tried to check back in. It wasn't. Now they'll grant the sub. Back to Watley. Gets to the middle and finishes.
Yeah. So explosive, so under control too though. It doesn't look reckless, Jay. Composed, good footwork, and just explosive.
That'll be an illegal screen by Neuer, yeah.
I saw that one right away, you could tell. And that's a point of emphasis. You're going to see that a lot this year. Guys are moving or leaning or not set. That's going to be an easy call all year long. Got to get those feet set, and you can't be leaning when you're setting the screens.
Yeah, and he even kind of used his arms too. It was like a double whammy there. Watley, woof, that is a long three, and he hits.
He's single-handedly keeping Totino Grace in this game. He's got 23 now, and that one was a good 5 or 6 feet behind the three-point line, too.
Royals can't answer, and retrieved there by Hines. Watley splitting a double team and was fouled. They're trying to get the ball out of his hands, but even with two guys on him.
Too quick. Watch how deep this is, too. I mean, you, as a defender, you think, hey, I'm going under this ball screen, and he's 8 feet behind the three-point line. I'm going to be safe, and he pulled it, knocked it down. He got a nice start here to the second half, and he's, like I said, he's keeping Totino Grace close.
Watley thought about it, goes to Njadambola against Neuer.
Nice shot fake.
Stepping to the corner. Wow.
Good offense inside out. Dolphin kicks it back out. Great shot fake, one step, and you can tell he's feeling it. Totino Grace got some energy, a little bit of momentum now
Within
well.
6 now, the Eagles. There were portions of this game where I didn't think they'd ever get back to this close. Smith hanging for the rebound putback.
I think Totino will live with Nura shooting a contested 3 like that, but you got to put a body on people.
And that one thrown away as Zoa trying to kick it back across.
And like Coach Carroll said, that's experience, right? He had an outlet right here. You got to value that possession, especially when you got things going your way right now. Only down 8.
Interesting back and forth flow in this, like you might see in the season opener too, where there have been times when a team looks like they're really in sync and hitting it. Hopkins had that run, but then now it's Grace's turn. And like you said, a lot of it is Watley creating for himself.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be, if I'm Hopkins, I start running the second guy right at him, try to get it out of his hands. He's got exactly half of their points. I think Malachi Hill's had a couple of nice buckets, but other than that, really no one else scoring much. Hines with 4. Zoa with 3, but yeah, no one else really beating you. You got to try to take the ball out of Chase Watley's hands.
The thing about it is he's mostly been pretty smart with that, even when they double him now. He's either split it or got
the
rid
pass,
of it.
Yeah. Yep. Well, the biggest thing is they're not turning the ball over as much. They didn't even get shots on 10 to 15 possessions in the first half. At least now, for the most part, there's a couple early, but they're taking care of the ball and they're getting good shots, good look.
I think for a little bit when you're falling behind, you're kind of stunned, but now it feels like they've sort of gotten through that
funk,
feeling of being like, in panic mode.
And listen, Hopkins plays incredibly fast and they're intense. And I know Totino's used to competing against teams like that, and they do that as well. But when you have a newer team and it's the first game of the year, sometimes that speed can be a little alarming. It seems like they've settled down a little bit now.
Jaden Moore driving and kicking from the corner. Wouldn't go for Trey Moore.
Good defense, good offense too. Jaden Moore again probably could have forced a shot there instead. Just a great passer, always looking for the open guy.
Watley had it jabbed away there by Trey Moore. Hill inbounding here for the Eagles, down by 8. Got to within 6 a moment ago. Hill driving and scoring.
He's starting to get his confidence too, looking to turn the corner. He's been aggressive. He's got 13 now too. A lot of them here in the second half getting to the basket.
Jaden Moore for 3 wouldn't go. Kept alive by Newer though, and they'll get another opportunity. Hart open and nails a 3. That was big.
Man, you got down to 6. You force a tough shot, then you give up that offensive rebound, kick out 3. 17 now too for Hart.
Hill getting into the lane, churns and fires this time, rebound by Moore. Hart finishing strong. Nice hoop.
Yeah. And again, that transition, they get out and they move it, push the ball ahead. You get easy baskets before Totino Grace's half-court defense sets up.
Trey Moore will pick up that foul in the backcourt. Ejadimbola to throw it in here for Eagles. Trying to deny Watley the ball, so Hill will take it. Ooh, just got rid of that one.
Yeah, hands.
Yep, Newer will be called for the foul.
And the good thing with that, if you're Totino Grace, is that's 6 team fouls on Hopkins already. So if you continue to attack, put pressure on their defense, you're going to be living at that free throw line here the last 9 minutes, 31 seconds.
QB1.
which is good. It stops the game. You get 3 points, gives a chance to get your defense set. Maybe you eliminate some of Hopkins' transition offense too.
Pass the ball.
Robbinsdale drive and kick. Now around to Watley. No good. Got it back himself. Missed it. And then scores it.
That seemed too easy, didn't it? Shortest guy down there just grabbed 2 offensive rebounds, able to finish it.
Back to single digits, 9-point lead for Hopkins. And knocked away by Hill.
Good D.
Robbinsdale driving into Noor. Yeah, still counted and one.
I like that. That time Totino Grace gave Hopkins a little of their success formula there. Getting the ball ahead in transition. Dolphin didn't wait. He just went right to the basket. No hesitation. Took the contact, able to finish.
And Noor, I believe that's his 4th. Not sure what
happened.
Yeah, they've got a.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. Was that a 5th foul? Or maybe they hadn't subbed it. I'm not quite sure what happened there. But hey, it ended up with a made free throw for Totino. And we're back down to 6. Every time they've gotten it back to this point, Hopkins has had an answer offensively. See if Totino can get a stop here and really make this a 1 or 2 possession game.
Shot fake by Moore, and now around it comes to Smith. Down low to Semenko, fouled, and he scores it as Hill, giving up a lot of size there, got into his body.
Yeah, that time you had 5'11" against 6'6", and it was a good heads up by Hopkins, not forcing a jump shot, but seeing it. Good throw down there, and then watch this footwork, kind of get your legs taken out and still able to finish. Not an easy shot.
Yeah, it's interesting in that, earlier in the game, Semenko obviously wasn't hitting his shots, but he still was doing things to help his team.
Played good defense, rebounding, and he is a really good scorer. So you got to stay with him. He'll usually produce for you.
Watley won't go this time, and hard out of there with it. Smith pops a 3. That spins off. Hill in transition. That'll be a goaltend. Yeah.
I like what Totino's doing, though. They're attacking Hopkins in the transition, and they've gotten some easier looks. That's going to be 15 points already for the sophomore. And I don't know if you needed to. I think there was a block prior to Anthony Smith.
I think the first,
it was going to be
block
short.
was clean, or not a goaltend, but then the second one.
I don't think there was a need for that block. Nice.
Jaden Moore wasn't going to take no for an answer that time.
That was like a predetermined, I'm going to get to my spot, and you could see good body control, able to hang and able to get the angle and get the shot.
Back to a 9-point lead. Corner 3 wouldn't fall there for Jackson.
That's been the one thing for them. Outside of Watley, they just have not been able to knock down threes.
Hill with the steal, and he's fouled.
Man, you got to love how hard he's played tonight. And you said it, Jay. He's fearless. Gets the steal there, and there was no going up soft there. He went hard at the rim.
Trey Moore will get the foul. I thought it maybe could have been on Davey, but either way, they'll get
Davey got a lot of ball with that, too. But nice job by Malachi Hill. Been really impressed with how hard he's played.
Oh, my God. Hold it back.
So Hopkins does still lead by 9, but as you mentioned, the foul situation getting to be a bit of a concern for them. That's already the 8th. Royals free throw is good. 16 now for Hill. And makes them both.
Yeah, get down to that 6-7 point range. Hopkins had an answer every time.
Moore getting a screen. Defense recovered, so he passed it off. Now Semenko cutting
nice
and
cut.
scores, plus a foul.
I love what he's done here. You know, not shooting contested threes, but he's cutting, getting himself available. We saw him get a three-point play in the post. That time, bailed his teammate out. Great cut to the rim. And he's another one. Him and Anthony Smith, they can score points in bunches. Great cut.
Yeah, good pass here, too. And that's the thing that can really make Hopkins dangerous, too. They share the ball. I mean, they have a lot of people who can score and want to be the man or whatever, but they've shared the ball pretty well, too.
If they do that, I mean, they could have 5 guys averaging double figures this year. They're all good enough to do that.
Watch out! Yeah!
Good shot. Mbola will take a three, and he hits.
Yep. Well, I like what Hopkins is doing, though, putting Semenko on Watley. That length seems to be giving him maybe just a little bit of trouble.
Hart with the miss. Hill. Travel.
Oh, double. I think they were saying he put the ball on the ground. Right when he caught it, picked it up, and then dribbled again. Yeah, 7 minutes, just under 7 minutes to play. So, I mean, 7 points in 7 minutes. Very, very doable for the Eagles.
Timeout Hopkins. And Grace has done a nice job battling back, and Hopkins, like you said, the most of the times have been able to get a bucket and not really let them get a right on their heels, but kept them.
A better job, Jay, of taking care of the ball, not giving those opportunities to Hopkins. And when you score, you don't have long rebounds and kickouts and runouts. So sometimes having a good offense can be a great defense in that regard. When you play Hopkins, you want to try to slow them down the best you can. And one of the ways to do that is score the basketball.
Hart will inbound here for the Royals. Jaden Moore brings it to the front court with Hill on him. Ooh, Jacob nearly had the steal there.
Yeah.
Dangerous cross-court pass. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Moore whipping it across into traffic and stolen. That was not a good decision.
Yeah, out of the timeout, too. You want to get a good shot there. That was almost a turnover before that. That one was. Good job by Totino. See if they can get something big here. Really put a little bit more pressure here on Hopkins.
Watley over to Njadambola. He will fire it up. That time short. Let's see, did Hopkins get a piece of that ball? They're going to say yes. It will be Grace's ball. Moore reached for it. It was just hard to tell if it actually hit him or not, and he didn't think so, but see if we can see. It was hard to tell from my angle if he touched it or not.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell there either.
Watley posting up, turns, attacks, no good, but he was fouled.
I like that offense. Obviously not overly tall at 6'2", but strong. and good moves and great footwork. If you get him the ball down in the post like that, I feel like he's going to be able to score one-on-one against anybody.
Yeah, it's kind of cool when you talk about how big guys now who can handle the ball and shoot it on the perimeter, but then the flip side is guards who can post up like that.
They're hard to guard, and guards aren't used to defending in the post. So if you got a guy like that who's comfortable, we've seen him crash the offensive rebounds too. He's a good leaper. He's just crafty when he's down there. You can see him split double teams tonight. He's hit some threes. He's kind of done it at all three levels. Really impressive.
I could hear one of the Grace coaches say, seal him when he kicked the ball out to the wing, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, he catches down there. I don't know if there's much he can do about it.
So the Eagles to within 5 after Watley's free throws. Closest they've been here in the second half. Jaden Moore attacking and then kicks it across. Hart back to Moore, fade away, and that one's too long. He didn't really have his feet set.
Well, a good defense again, nothing easy. Totino playing better defense, and their pairing stops with baskets. They got it down to 5.
Tried to go back cut there, but
yeah.
Semenko knocked it down, and now Hart missed it. He was off balance. He thought he was fouled. Gadambola driving and scoring.
And that's when he's really good, when he can get that head of steam and go downhill to the basket. And how about this? Totino Grace got it down to 1 possession.
73-70. Hopkins lead trimmed down to just 3. And like I said, at halftime, I don't know that I would have predicted that.
No.
Didn't really look at it. Hopkins bench is irate that there was not a foul call on this last drive by Hart.
Yeah, and that was transition. That's a big one. Big miss there. And then no one stops the ball. The whole thing goes all the way to the rim. But to your point, Jay, I think Hopkins settling for threes. We've seen a lot of threes. Semenko down in the post, cutting. He's had a couple of three-point plays. I think they got to continue to get that action going to the rim like they had in the first half. They just had such a nice rhythm. Pick up that defensive intensity, see if they can initiate some transition looks as well.
It feels like the Eagles are growing up as the night goes on too, right? I mean, when 100%. You got some players who are new to varsity play or are new to playing a lot of minutes anyway.
And that's how fast it can happen. Now these guys got this game, win or lose tonight, when they play Wayzata coming up or Orono or Lakeville North, all these big schools, right? These guys are going to be battle tested. They're going to have games under their belt knowing that they can do it. Totally different mindset after getting that experience.
See what they go with out of the timeout here. Smith, haven't heard from him as much lately here.
No.
Jaden Moore looking to attack down the baseline. Pretty good help D, though. Hart shooting a 3, no good. Moore, though, rebounds it. And a nice finish. That was great hustle.
How many times have they had that where Totino gets a stop, but then Hopkins able to elevate? Great offensive rebound by Moore, and then good shot fake, able to get an easy layup.
5-point lead for the Royals, and Hart with the steal, and then a foul on Gadambola. That was not a real good pass, and it kind of led to that whole sequence that resulted in a foul.
That was more like the first half right there, right? We just praised him about growing up and making good decisions. That time you force a pass, you don't even get a shot out of it.
Under 4 to play, Hopkins up by 5. Lead was double digits in the first half. Jaden Moore pull up no good. Trey Moore though rebounds. And Smith will launch it. It's right on target. Back to 8. And there's a steal by Trey Moore. Layup is good.
And just like that, up to 10. Turnovers, much like the first half. Travel.
Jacob will be called for the travel as he made that spin move.
That Anthony Smith 3-2, Jay, was off of a missed jump shot, offensive rebound, kick out. Hopkins tonight done a great job, second chance points.
Jaden Moore the drive, and then around the horn. Here's Hart from the corner, ring it up.
Great response by the Royals. Things got tight. What'd they do? They got a turnover. Now you got driving kicks, offensive rebounds, threes.
Good time for a 10-0 run if you're Hopkins, right?
In about a minute and a half.
Hill with the runner wouldn't go, but it bounces around, and Hines in the right place to lay that one in. 2:40 to go, 83-72 Hopkins.
Well, we thought it might be high scoring, and we were accurate in that.
Yeah, both teams play fast, especially Hopkins. Get shots up, make shots. Smith, the drive, let's see. Official's going to confer to make sure they have the same thing here. Going to be a big call one way or the other here. Yes, count the basket for Smith. Jadambola will be called for the foul.
It was a good quick move by Anthony Smith that time, and he did a great job of that, sidestepping the charge, coming back to his left, able to get the contact and finish.
Couldn't complete the three-point play, but it's still a big hoop.
Yeah, he's normally money from the free throw line. He's missed a couple of them tonight.
Knocked away as they threw a double at Hill just as he crossed half court.
And I like what Hopkins is doing too, Jay. They're mixing that up, and you can see the intensity on defense starting to pick up a little bit the last minute and a half, and it's led to some turnovers.
Jadambola spinning to the baseline. Hill, a floater, and it's good again. Boy, he's had a nice night.
Yeah, that was tough. He had to beat his defender and then pull up over height there and hit the floater.
Cross to Moore, minute 45 to go. Jadambola knocking it away, but Semenko gets it back. He's going to stop and pop. It's in and out, though, and Watley rebounds. Jadambola getting ahead of the pack, but he missed it.
Good look ahead. Dalton running hard. Got to finish that one.
And a reach-in foul in the backcourt as Jaden Moore was bringing it up.
Yeah, Hopkins will be in the bonus too here.
Jackson will pick up the foul. So free throw time here, Jaden Moore. First time to the line tonight for him. He has 14 points. Nails that one. And Moore makes a pair. Watley draws the foul.
Yeah.
Doesn't get a whole lot easier for Grace here as on Saturday they'll be playing against Wayzata at the breakdown over at Hopkins.
Well, the good news for Coach Carroll, you're going to find out in a hurry who you want to roll with, right? He talked about getting these guys experience. They're going to have a lot of experience real soon, too, against really good players, good teams, and it's only going to make them better as they move forward.
Watley makes the free throw. And Hopkins will also be playing in that breakdown event on their court as they take on Mankato East on Saturday. Boy, this is the only home game for Totino Grace until January. Kind of a quirk of the schedule. Watley, that was the second of three free throws there. Watley going 2 out of 3 at the stripe there. 11-point lead now. Royals using some clock here as Moore comes to the top.
I like watching that Anthony Smith, Watley go at it because they're about two of the quickest players you're going to see all year long.
Semenko gets the layup. That's exactly what Hopkins wanted there. Use some time and then get an easy 2 at the end. Gadambola step back 3, no good. Jacob will kick it back out. And Hill steps in to hit another bucket.
Yeah, he's going to end up with 21 points. But how about Semenko? 0 in the first half, 10 in the second. He definitely picked his level of play up in the second half. That was a big factor in this game. 11, Jay, that's what it was at halftime. So they ended up even in the second half to this point.
Jaden Moore backing it out. They can't quite use all the rest of the clock, but almost, and that's what's going to happen. Looks like Grace will not choose to foul on purpose here. Smith weaving his way in, and he'll get the layup. And they get into the 90s now, 91-78. Watley, one last 3. It will not fall, and Hopkins scoring a good win on the road to start the season as they beat the 3-time defending state champion in Class 3A.
Yeah, great game, fun game. I think both teams are going to get something out of it. Totino Grace, I think you got to be proud. You big deficit, you came back, you fought, you had it down to 3. Hopkins just a little bit more depth. They shot a little bit better, and I think at the end of the day, it was all about turnovers and getting some really easy baskets. So, fun game.
We'll take a timeout and come back with more here. Hopkins winning at 91-78. Our postgame up next on CCX.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
Hopkins winning it over Grace tonight by a score of 91-78. Ryan is with one of the happy Royals.
Thanks, Jay. Well, I'm with Anthony Smith. Anthony, 26 points tonight. How was it being back on the court? First game of your senior year. What'd you think?
Man, I love it. Basketball's my love. You know, I've been playing with my guys, varsity, since my freshman year. We've all been in a group, so I'm glad once again my senior year I got something to keep going on this. You know, yeah.
That first half, you guys were relentless defensively. A ton of turnovers, easy breaks. The UK men, you got fired up. You got a three-point play. You got a couple of threes there. I mean, what's the limit for this team this year, in your opinion?
I think we can win state. You know, we just got to listen to Coach Novak. You know, Chase Wiley, he's a good guard. We got to close the gaps. We can't let him get through those gaps. So that's the main thing. So
who's quicker, you or Chase Wiley?
Chase Wiley, hey, I think I got the one of the quickest first steps in Minnesota. Chase Wiley, he's very shifty, but I got to give it to me.
First game at Totino Grace, 3-time defending Class 3A champion. As a competitor, do you love that hard game right out of the gate?
I love it. I love it. First game of the season, all the fans came out to watch us play, and, you know, we just play hard, so I love it.
Last question. You guys had a big lead. They cut it down to 3. Every time they got it down, though, you guys seem to have a response. Is that experience, toughness? What is that trait that allowed you guys to get back and ultimately blow the game open again at the end?
That's definitely experience. If you know Wyzetta, we played them, what was that, my sophomore year? We were up by like 18, then they came back, but we ended up losing. But it's just like we're used to that because it happens to us a lot. So,
congrats on a big road win to start the year. 26 points. Great job, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Jay.
Thanks very much, Ryan, and congrats to the Royals as they win at 91-78. That young man, Anthony Smith, 26, 22 for Davey Hart, 16 for Jaden Moore to lead the Royals, 32 for Chase Watley for Grace, and 21 for Malachi Hill. Best of luck to both of these teams going forward the rest of the season, and on Saturday as they play in the Breakdown Classic, again, it'll be Totino Grace, Wyzetta, at that event, and also Hopkins versus Mankato East. For Ryan Iverson and all of our CCX crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Totino Grace.